signs. Now, if you haven't reviewed my first video of Chiron, I urge you to do so, where we go through the astronomical, astrological, and mythological energy of Chiron and how Chiron shows up in your life and how to heal Chiron on a more energetic level. This video is about understanding and interpreting your wounds and learning how to heal Chiron through all 12 signs and 12 houses. In this video, I will explain the core woundings of Chiron and what they feel like it when it's wounded and what it feels like when you're healed. Again, Chiron is the wound and the healer, and it is important to integrate Chiron through any healing journey, especially if you are undergoing a very transformative time in your life and you are starting to reach for things that probably do not serve you on the highest octave, and also if they do not offer you the life that you want to live. Exploring your Chiron is very, very healing, very, very cathartic, and very, very important to be able to honor your soul contract as well. I do believe in soul contracts, and I do believe that our souls are here to evolve, and Chiron has a very, very big part to play in that arena. As a psychology student, of course, I'm very interested in Chiron and the healings of Chiron and how it shows up in individuals' lives and how it does pertain to the individual. However, everything again is individualistic. So despite the fact that you may have Chiron in Aries, you also may have it in the 10th house, for example. So I do urge you to listen to both Aries and Capricorn to be able to understand, for example, the energies at play there. So Aries will go the first house, Taurus second, Gemini third, Cancer fourth house, Leo 5th house, Virgo 6th house, Libra 7th house, Scorpio 8th house, Sagittarius 9th house, Capricorn 10th house, Aquarius 11th house, and then of course Pisces ruling over the 12th house. So please do feel free to skim through as you need to be able to understand both the sign and the house placement of your Chiron to get a better understanding of your innate wound and how you are to heal this wound. It is also very important to take into account the aspects being made to Chiron as to how to go about healing that. I can offer that to you in an astrological natal chart reading, whereby we will explore Chiron in and of itself and also healing that energy. So please do feel free to visit my Etsy account or send me a message, and I can definitely offer you a astrological natal chart healing, Chiron healing session. Okay, now let's explore all through the 12 signs. Now first we have Aries. If you have Chiron in the first house itself or in this symbol of Aries, then this energy pertains to you, whereby the core wounding is about value and worth. The wounded Chiron feels like that you have no right to exist, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you, and there is over self-sufficiency that comes through you. My daughter was born with this, my youngest daughter was born with this placement, for it has been in Aries since the 17th of April 2018. It's going to spend about 8 years in this sign and then transit into Taurus. I believe last time I checked it will be 2025, late 2025. When Chiron occupies this sign, there is strong changes of laws initiated pertaining to human rights, personal freedoms, and social change. So there is a evolutionary collective unconscious level to all Chiron placements. It is all about an individuals with Chiron and Aries struggle with asserting themselves and with issues related to their own self-identity and their independence. There is a need to heal by learning to assert themselves positively, feeling like they're lovable and they're worthy, that they have a right to exist as well. It is about channeling your own innate energy into constructive actions, because that is bringing about that Aries energy. Aries also rules over the head as well. So be conscious of what's going on in your mind and also your head with healing these innate wounds. There could be issues relevant to that, but it depends on, of course, the aspects being made to this placement. Now, Chiron in Taurus. So if you have Chiron in Taurus, which is this symbol here, or in your second house of value and worth, this energy is all for you. There is a strong core wounding of neglect. There's a sense of a lack of self-worth, a lack of feeling solid or safe in your own innate being, and valued based on the material possessions as opposed to you as your own innate self. There's a sense of always feeling vulnerable also if you have Chiron in Taurus. Taurus regulates our material resources and our value-based systems. The psychoastrology of Chiron and Taurus creates this sense of lack in the two areas associated with Taurus, being that material resources and value-based systems. This range from neglect to being completely without is a core wound associated with Chiron and Taurus individuals, whereby this strong issue related to material security, self-worth, and values. There is a healing involved in cultivating this self-acceptance and understanding about your own true innate worth beyond material possessions, and developing a deeper sense of inner stability. Trusting in the wisdom of your body, forgiving your inner child, and also knowing that you're worthy of committed love. Taurus also rules over the throat. So if you have any issues with your thyroid or your throat, there is probably some sort of relationship between Chiron and Taurus in your natal chart, or also Chiron and Venus as well, because Venus is all about those luxurious energies as well. It all depends on your own innate natal chart, however. Now let's explore Chiron in Gemini. Chiron in Gemini, or Chiron in the third house of siblings, communication, and also local community and neighborhoods, this would pertain to you. There is a strong core wounding of empathetic attunement. Those with Chiron and Gemini experience challenges in communication, in learning and connecting with others on an intellectual level. This may be because they're overly intellectual themselves, they're caught in self-destructive thoughts, or they feel not seen or heard. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Katy Perry, and even the Dalai Lama all have Chiron in the sign of Gemini. I myself have Chiron in the third house. This highlights the energy, and I'm speaking to you on YouTube, so this highlights the energy of those who have successfully transformed the psychoastrology of the core wounding of Chiron in Gemini. This healing energy looks heart-centered, with an ability to express their feelings through words. They're high vibrationally integrated and authentic. There is a development of better communication skills, embracing curiosity, and integrating diverse perspectives. As a child, I had a stutter, and that highlights this Chiron in the third house energy as well. So Gemini pertains to the hands, the arms, the lungs, and also the shoulders. But it's also about our own innate communication as well. So if you have dyslexia or something similar to that, then there may be a very strong association with Chiron in Gemini, or an association between Chiron and Mercury in your chart as well. Now we have Chiron and Cancer, or Chiron in the fourth house of home, family, mother, and lineage. If you have Chiron on the IC, this is strongly connected to your lineage. If you have Chiron closer to the 5th house cusp or in the center, this is more connected to your home. However, the core wounding of Chiron in Cancer or Chiron in the 4th house is a sense of abandonment. The wounded Chiron feels abandoned, unlovable, with unresolved grief and even suicidal ideation. Individuals with these wounds are related to emotional security, family dynamics, and nurturing abilities, whereby they felt unnurtured, a sense of emotional insecurity, and uncomfortable or unhealed family dynamics throughout themselves or their ancestry. There is strong historic events that occurred under this influence, whereby it demonstrated transformation of core wounding by abandonment to experiences of nurtured and established sense of belonging. Nelson Mandela had this placement. These healings of this Chiron in Cancer creates a secure sense of home, a sense of nurturing the other because you yourself never received nurturing, and a self-love from the inner mother within the self. The healing involves and evolves familial relationships, nurturing of oneself and others with compassion and love, and also creating a secure emotional environment. Chiron in Cancer is a wound that is very, very hard to work with. And if there is a strong association between Chiron and the moon, this also may pertain to you also, because moon is the lunar ruler of Cancer itself, and it has strong associations with the mother and also the lineage and the emotions as well. I do urge you to do a lot of inner work, Chiron in Cancer, and in nurturing yourself and therefore creating a strong home environment and becoming secure and safe within your home due to these feelings of abandonment and feeling unloved. Now, Cancer also rules over the breasts. So if there is any resentment or alcoholism in the female lineage, I do urge you to be conscious of that, especially because breast cancer is birthed out of this, and also be conscious of these energies potentially harming you in the future. So just live a very healthy and authentic life. Now we have Chiron in Leo. This is a personal placement of mine. As I mentioned, it is in the 3rd house. So if you do have Chiron in Leo like myself, or you have Chiron in the 5th house of pleasure, creativity, and inner child, then this does pertain to you. The core wounding of Chiron in Leo is creativity. Those with Chiron and Leo struggle with self-expression and creativity and issues related to recognition and validation, relevant to their own innate creative spirit. They can be very self-critical or conversely very boastful, and they have a tendency towards self-sabotage. Healing involves embracing these unique talents within those with Chiron and Leo, whereby you express yourself authentically and find healthy outlets for creativity. A healed Chiron feels passionate and productive, playful and romantic, and overly, incredibly creative. Chiron in Leo is a brute force when it is unconscious and unregulated. It is a time during the Nazi extermination camps, and there is a lot of healing that needs to be done through the lineage with those with Chiron in Leo. Leo is also associated with the sun, so if you have Chiron conjunct the sun, this also pertains to you. Chiron in Leo also highlights the father archetype as well, due to the sun being the masculine ruler of an individual's birth chart. So it can highlight issues with regards to your father's individual lack of self-worth as well. So in this lifetime, you're coming through to heal the collective trauma of your lineage associated with Chiron in Leo. Next, we have Chiron in Virgo. Chiron in Virgo plays out in the 6th house. So if you have Chiron in the 6th house of health, this video and this part also pertains to you. Whereby Chiron in Virgo have a core wounding of managing their own innate physical health and routines. Chiron and Virgo individuals face challenges related to perfectionism, health, and self-criticism. There is a strong association with being overly critical, and there is also an inability to cope, a neglect of one's own self-care, feelings of brokenness, and also hypochondriacs. Those with Chiron in Virgo need to heal through self-care practices on a day-to-day basis, whereby they develop a balanced approach to work and health and practically offering help to others. It is all about self-nurturing, creating healthy routines that are easy to follow, and an ability to have fun and experience joy within an individual's life. Next, we have Chiron in Libra. If you have Chiron in the 7th house of relationships, this area also pertains to you, whereby Chiron and Libra experience wounds in relationships, fairness, decision-making processes. Their core wounding, however, is in personal independence. The wounded Chiron feels underdeveloped a sense of self and also feelings of codependency. Healing this involves learning to create balanced and harmonious relationships, advocating for justice, and finding inner peace through self-reflection. It creates an artistic, expressive, and creative, individualistic person. The psychoastrology of Chiron and Libra represents a shift from disempowered identity to one that is strong and flexible and has protective boundaries. If you have Chiron in the 7th house, or there's a strong interaction with regards to your relationship planet of Venus, and also then this may also pertain to you. Now Chiron in Scorpio. This is quite a harsh experience for an individual, and it can manifest as being sexually abused through childhood as well. So I should have put a trigger warning on that, but that is a potential hazard or consequence of having Chiron and Scorpio. It may also pertain to the lineage having experienced these such things as well, because this core wounding of the experience and the expression of an individual's power, whereby you confront issues related to power dynamics, trust, and intimacy. An individual with wounded Chiron in Scorpio feels paranoid, insensitive. There could also be elements of sex addiction or an inability to manage anger. The healed Chiron feels trusting and sensitive, whereby they have a true sense of belonging and emotional intuition that creates deep introspection and transformation of emotional wounds, whereby the individual embraces their own innate vulnerability as a source of personal strength. Chiron in Sagittarius. This is where the two centaurs themselves meet, in the 9th house of spirituality. So if you have Chiron in the 9th house of spirituality, just as my youngest daughter does, then this is for you. Chiron in Sagittarius core wound is about truth and illusion. Chiron Sagittarius individuals tend to struggle with issues related to their belief systems, their higher education, and philosophical exploration, whereby the wounded Chiron feels self-righteous, blunt, and argumentative. This is an interesting position for my daughter, considering that I'm an astrologer, and those with this in placement do have associations whereby they have led a life with a parent that has strong belief systems. Typically, it is the father in the ninth house. However, if it is definitely in Sagittarius, then this would definitely pertain to the element whereby there's a centeredness of illusion of being present as a truth, which creates a sense of actual deception. Healing this core wound is found in bringing injustices to light and holding offenders accountable. There is restitution that can be sought through proper channels whereby they are legal and legislative based. And you establish alliances and treaties with appropriate safeguards in place. Healed Chiron is committed to justice, adventurous, and self-empowered. They expand their own innate worldview and pursue knowledge that inspires them in their own right, whereby they innately find the meaning through their own spiritual growth. Next, we have Chiron in Capricorn. If you have Chiron in Capricorn or Chiron in the 10th house of career and achievement, success, responsibility, and accountability, then this does also pertain to you. Chiron in Capricorn's core wound is responsibility, achievement, and success. Chiron in Capricorn face challenges related to ambition, authority, or self-discipline. There is also a strong correlation between the 10th house and the father, whereby there could be issues pertaining to the father. If you have Chiron also conjunct Saturn, this energy will also pertain to you. Healing occurs through achieving personal goals with integrity and embracing responsibility, along with finding a balance between work and personal life, because the wounded Chiron feels controlling and greedy, with a fear of failing and a desire to achieve opportunity at any cost. The healed Chiron can create a mindfulness whereby they're able to ask for help, feel a sense of innate confidence, and also have the ability to set boundaries. It is all about healing the core wound caused by greed, excessive control, restriction, and issues related to authority with unsettling boundaries, whereby you create a healthy sense of your own innate self-esteem. Next, we have Chiron in Aquarius. If you have Chiron in the 11th house, this energy also may pertain to you. It also may pertain to you if you have Chiron conjunct Uranus, which is the planet that rules over the 11th house and Aquarius. The core wounding with Chiron and Aquarius is a wounding of connection and community, whereby individuals have wound relevant to individuality, social groups, and humanitarian causes. There's a sense of disappointment in self, disconnection from your own innate body, self-destruction, and even a sense of invisibility of your own self. The healing of this energy helps for you to embrace your own innate uniqueness, whereby you contribute positively to society, fostering authentic connections with others. You are in touch with your intuition. You have the ability to freely express your feelings, and you have an authentic connection to others and the community at large. There is this beautiful energy. Despite the fact that it can be isolating and disconnecting from the world, there is the ability to create and forge connections with the world at large with this energy. And last but certainly not least, we have Chiron in Pisces, or Chiron in the 12th house of secrets. There is a strong sense of wounding in self-care and the immaterial world, whereby there is a strong connection to spirituality. Chiron and Pisces, or also Chiron conjunct Neptune in and of itself, may confront issues related to spirituality, compassion, or boundaries. Healing of Chiron in this placement occurs through connecting with your own innate spiritual side, practicing empathy and forgiveness, and channeling creativity into meaningful pursuits, whereby you are able to create healthy boundaries, nurture your sense of self, and trust your own intuition. There is a highly sensitive nature to you, and you become empathetic, as opposed to depleted, overly selfless, caught in addictive habits, and a sense of victimization. Now, I hope these energies helped you better understand yourself and your own innate healing. If you are interested in any of my beautiful pieces of art, that is my Chiron and Leo, and also Words, which is my Chiron in the third house, please may you visit my Soulful Solutions Art Etsy website, whereby you can explore a various array of creative designs that are expressively aimed at helping individuals heal their own innate Chiron in Gemini or Chiron in Leo innately, and also help them on their path and their trajectory to innermost healing. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video. I really truly do hope this helped you create a sense of self and be able to heal the Chiron effect, whereby you develop a sense of self-forgiveness and empathy towards yourself and also others around you, because everyone has their own Chiron. Everyone has their own triggers and their own pains and their own struggles that they are here to evolve from. Just as your mother did, just as your father did, just as anyone does. So please may you face the world with a collective unconsciousness of the fact that everyone has their story and not everyone shares their story, but people are innately got their own things going on. And just as Chiron walked a mile in the shoes of, I don't remember the name, but the one that he traded places with, whereby he was trapped under a rock because he mocked Zeus, and Chiron traded places to be able to become mortal once more. May you also remember that you need to walk a mile in someone else's shoes before you can judge them or project on them your own personal triggers, I suppose you could say. Anyway, I wanted to leave this on a great note, and I want to appreciate you very much for subscribing and liking and commenting and sharing and experiencing life at the highest possible octave that you possibly can by healing your own innate Chiron, and therefore paying it forward and helping others heal their innate Chiron. So bless you and thank you, and may you have a superfluous afternoon.